first year of your baby's life is going to be a lot. It's going to be hectic. You don't have much time for anything. I mean, you're doing so many different things. You're taking care of a little being that you have no idea what to do with, and you're just learning along the way. But it's super important to make all the memories early on, you know, the handprints, the footprints, writing down their first, you know, videotaping everything, just to make so many memories to have for later. Once they're 2, 3, and you haven't made like a little handprint sign for them. I made a handprint with my husband and Callie, and we just put our hands together, and that was my cutest thing ever. I loved it. So if you don't make these little things early on, then you're kind of missing out. So I wanted to share something that I did, which I thought was so cute. We took her footprints and we made these frames, and I think they're the prettiest things ever. It's just her footprints on a floating frame with some flowers, and I glued them, but I put her name down here, her birthday, and I gave them to all of her grandparents, and they absolutely loved them. It's such cute keepsake memories that you can make early on. So today I'm going to show you how to make this. A quick side note with these, I tried handprints and it was such a mess, and like I couldn't get her hands to go down. You know, she just wanted to crinkle them up. So I think it's a little bit easier with footprints, but this is so much better with a newborn because they don't really have control over their body. You could just press their foot in or press their hand in. So she is much older than a newborn, so it was a little bit more tricky. So if you can start very early on where you can actually get a nice footprint without any work at all, then do that. Otherwise, still under a year I think is really great because their feet grow so fast. So as soon as you can do it, the better.
You need some floating frames and an ink pad. I use 2, but it depends on how many frames you're making. Then you'll need some flowers. Flat ones are the best, but these were super pretty, so I had to cut them and make them flat. You need a paint marker and then the glue, the E6000 glue, that's good for glass. Now you're going to put the ink pad on your baby's foot or her hands, and then you are going to place them on the glass. Make sure that you have enough ink and that the footprints or handprints are even on the glass. If your flowers are not flat, you'll want to cut out the back to make them as flat as possible. And you kind of want to arrange your flowers on the footprints or handprints first, just to make sure that you know exactly what you're working with before you glue them down. What I did was I shaped the leaf part to kind of shape her foot because it wasn't the size of her foot. And then I started to put flowers on top. You don't have to use a leaf, but it kind of filled it up a little bit more. Depends on if you want to see more of the footprint or if you want more of it to be covered. I really wanted her whole footprint to be covered in flowers, so I shaped all the pieces to fit her toes, and I covered her whole footprint with the flowers. That way I have the green on the inside if there was any black showing, because I really wanted it to be one uniform piece. After you are done matching both sides, carefully take them off and you're going to start to glue. It's much easier to use a tweezer to put everything down. Otherwise, you might get it stuck to your hand or you might mess up a little bit. So the tweezers definitely did help. There might be a little bit of excess glue around the frame, so you just need to wet it a little bit and take off the glue. If your flowers are flat, you could put them between the frames, but what I did was put them on the front. I think it's a little bit nicer because it has more of a 3D look. And then with your marker, make sure you shake it up a little bit first. I wrote Callie's name at the top, and then I wrote her birthday at the bottom. They turned out super cute. All of her grandparents loved them, and I think it's such a really cute keepsake for memories.